everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den. Welcome to another video, and this week I'm going to show you how I did this one. It sits up like this, and as you can see when I hold it open, you can see it's called a split front card. And I'm using this lovely new set out of the, oops, got stuff stuck to everything, out of the mini catalogue, and it's called Share a Milkshake. Now, I've done this one in polished pink because this was for my colour creation blog hop, but I'm going to do the next one in Granny Apple Green because I wanted a nice lime milkshake. So we're going to do that. Today the video is going to be a little bit longer than normal because I'm actually going to cut out all of these pieces with you. So you can see I'm going to be using the mini Stampin' Up Stamp and Emboss machine. I'm doing that because because of the kind of stamping we're doing, I just thought it was easier than me doing it twice, because my mum doesn't stamp anymore. She's almost blind now, and so I have no reason to do two lots and keep them for her. So I'm going to do it this way today and see how long it takes us. So that's the set we're going to be using. So this comes with a beautiful set of dies and it comes as a bundle. So we're going to be using the main cup die, the froth on the top of the, oh, sounds like a helicopter going over, froth on the top of the milkshake die, the straw die, my straw came undone, these heart dies, which are what I've put here. And that's all the, excuse me, that's all the dies we're going to be using. I'm going to be using Life is Sweeter with You, which is what I've done on the inside of this one here. And I've put the stamps on there, so that's those stamps there. And then on the front, Be My Valentine. And obviously the cups and the froth and this part of the straw. I'm not using the other part, just this part of the straw here. So that's what we're going to be using today. So let's pop that on one side. Now when I made this card, oops, just stay there, sorry. When I made this card, I used these deckled rectangles, and I used these three here, which was the second size, the third size, and the fourth size. But today for this video I'm doing them all just plain, so that if you don't have these you don't need to worry. So I think either or, so that's how I did it, second, third and fourth size from the smallest. Obviously the DSP is the smallest, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to be using for that. We're going to be using ours like this today. Okay, so that's that. So let's pop this on one side and let's bring in all our bits and pieces. Pop those over here, those dies out of the way for now, so when we're ready to die cut. Oh, and I'm also going to be using my, I now forgot what it's called. I've got the piece of paper still here from last week when I did my video. It's called Happy Labels. I've kept that because of the fact that I haven't put my thing on the side here with the name on it. So we're going to be using that as well. Okay, so this is our card pieces. So for our main card, we need a piece that measures 7 7/8 by 4 1/8. That's our inserts. Oh, excuse me. And we need another piece that measures 2 inches by 4 1/8. Okay, for my layers on the front, I need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 1 3/4, and I need 2 of those. And for my DSP layer will be 3 5/8 by 1 1/2. For my piece that goes through the middle here, we need a piece that measures 4 by 2 1/2. 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and 3 1/2 by 2. This is for my label on the front. With this measures, I'm not sure now, 3 1/4 by 1. And then for our insert, we need a piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 and 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So that's all our pieces, except for our scraps for doing our stamping and cutting out. This is my piece for doing my stamping, and this measures 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And this is for my little green hearts here, which I'm just putting this on. So this was just a scrap piece which measures 3 3/4 by 1 inch, which is big enough to do those hearts with. Okay, so let's get cracking and put our card together, and then we can so those 3 bits go together, those 3 bits go together, and that bit. So let's pop that one on one side, and we'll start with these. So this is our main card, and we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score this piece using our score tool with the small end at the 5 7/8 mark. That gives us a 2 inch piece on this end, which will be the top of the card front. Okay, so we're going to fold and burnish that over. Oh my goodness, it's noisy out there today. And that is the main part of our card, and that is the bottom half, which is the 2 inches by 4 1/8 inch piece. So that goes like that. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to glue these pieces together. Let's see if I can get glue out. When I made the other one, I was having so much trouble because it's so sticky down here today that I just thought, well, I was going to do it with this side, but I just thought it was wrong. The dots look so much nicer. It's garbage day, sorry. And today is the last one where they pick up all 3 bins on the same day until December next year. Okay, so that's for the bottom of the card like so. Whoops. It's just a bit of fluff on the bottom of the card. This one goes on the top. So yeah, as I say, I was going to do it with the stripe side of this card, which I forgot to show you the paper pack that this comes from, which I will do that once I've glued these all together. And this one goes on the top of the card. So pop that onto the top of the card like so. And that's the front part of the card done. This is the part that goes through the middle, so we'll stick those pieces together now. And that one goes onto here, onto the front like so, once we get there. Now, let me show you this paper before we go any further. This is the paper, the pack that I used. It's called Dandy Designs. There's 48 sheets that can go back in there, and they are beautiful designs. I'm not going to pull the whole lot out. I'll just show you, pull it out a little bit. So we have this beautiful granny apple green with zigzaggy patterns on the other side. And then we have this beautiful granny apple green again. Oh my goodness. Which has the dots on the other side, which is what we're using today. And then we have this one, which is, I don't know what colour this is. Let me see. Balmy blue. Balmy blue. And it has this pale green on the other side, which looks like to me, I don't know, it doesn't actually say. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. Now this is balmy blue on here with the dots. And that's beautiful. So I'm not sure what that one is. Oh yes, there's balmy blue on there. And I think that's just the green again. And then we have Mango Melody with the Mango Melody squares on the back. And then we've got another balmy blue with, oh sorry, I'm out of the screen, with dots on the back. And then we have another Mango Melody with dots on the back. Oh, that's sort of square dots though. Then we have a nice red one, which is, let me see if I can see, it actually doesn't give me the names of all of these on here. I'm sure of it doesn't, because this looks a bit like, I don't know, but I think it's because it's got this colour in here, which is the petal pink with the red. Then we have this gorgeous grape with flowers and more dots. And then we have petal pink with more dots. And that's petal pink. And then we have Mango Melody here again. So that's our colours in there, and they're gorgeous. That's the main colours they've put there, which are Balmy Blue, Calypso Coral, okay, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Fresh Freesia, it's not Gorgeous Grape, it was Fresh Freesia, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody and Petal Pink, and they are actually gorgeous, and having such abstract patterns on them makes it really great for all sorts of cards. So we've done all that. Sorry about all that booing and garbaging in the middle. Alright, so we're going to do all our stamping now. So, and I'm going to bring in this piece here and stamp on that as well, and a piece of scrap that I used before for stamping. So let me put my pin in my ink so it doesn't dry, glue rather, so it doesn't dry out. And we're going to bring in our Granny Apple Garden Green here, and I'm going to stamp just 2 straws in Garden Green. Garden Green. Alright, so everything else is getting stamped in Granny Apple Green. So we're bringing in the Granny Apple Green now. So we're going to stamp our front piece card here with Be My Valentine. Along with the Granny Apple Green hearts on the side here. Okay, so that piece is stamped. We'll pop that on one side. We're going to stamp our main, let's get that out of the way, I've got like a spat on that. Our main dish, pot here, we're going to stamp off once and stamp that on here. Now we're stamping off because we want a lighter colour. So that's lighter than our full blown colour. We're going to stamp our other piece, and I'll show you that if you put it on there the same, it wouldn't show up. I mean, it does show up, but I wanted it to show up more, so I'm going to stamp this over the top of this one at full strength, and that looks absolutely awful stamping, so let's cut this in half. And we'll stamp this one again, shall we? Let's see if I can do a better job this time. Turn it the other way. I got it perfect last time. Oh, it's really not coming out that crash hot. Actually it has, it's come out really nicely. So that's okay. So that's our cup. We're going to stamp our froth as down one as well, because we don't want that to be really frothy, like strong. And then on the inside of our card, it's going to say in full strength, life is sweeter with you. Yep, how gorgeous does that look? Okay, so that's all our stamping done. Let's put my lid back on that, and we're going to bring in our little, oh, I just dropped that piece on the floor. Let me pick that up, otherwise if somebody walks in, they're going to knock it over. I know that. So we're going to stamp cut these all out. So this is using the mini, so we need a small number 1 block, and then we need a clear plate number 2, our piece that we're going to put on here, plus a piece on the top. And we're going to run it through, and we've cut out our glass. Alright, so let's pop the next ones on. I'm going to do just one piece at a time, only because I'm going to find it easier. Now this piece here has a little slot in it, right just here, and that's so you can pop your straws through the slot. So we're going to pop that onto there. Pick up my board. Number 2 to go on the top. And we're finished with that piece. And there's my froth to go on the top. Let's pop that in again so we can do our straws one at a time. And the reason I'm doing it all one at a time is because of the fact that it's just trying to get it to sit in there nicely without it moving, which we've got more than one die on, can be a bit of a pain. It's alright when I do it on my big one because I can see what I'm doing off a little bit better, but on the little one I just find that doing them one at a time is a lot easier. I don't have the large of the Stampin' Up ones. I still have my Big Shot because I couldn't see the point in buying another one when I already have. Would you believe, since my mum now no longer stamps, I have 2 of these, 2 Big Shots, 1 electric Big Shot. Oh, that one didn't come out very well, but doesn't matter. Here go underneath the other one, so that's that bit. Now I'm going to use this green piece to do these, if I can pick them up, these hearts. So I'm going to do them twice. So as I was saying, I've got 2 of these, 2 Big Shots, 1 electric Big Shot, which does A4 size paper, and my original die cutting machine that I had. It's called a something do, which I've had right from, you know, when I first started crafting. So there we go, that's all of our cutting out done. Let's pop those over there. That can go in the rubbish. I'm just going to, and the one good thing about this is it closes up nice and small, even if it is noisy. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way. That part's all done. Let's bring back in our card and do our assembly. Okay. Oh, before we do that, I'm actually going to just cut these ends on this. So as this is the, we'll cut 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch and a 1 inch. Either of those two things. I did this one, so I'm going to do that one again. Pop that in there nicely, tightly. I like to turn it over to make sure that it's nice and flush up against this edge here. That's just me, but that's the way I like to do it. I just find that see, as I've put that one in, it looks like it's straight and it's not. So it's nice to turn it over just so that you can make sure you've got that nice and straight. That way you don't waste your effort of your stamping and getting your whatever, everything correct. So that's done too. Okay, pop that away. We're going to pop that over there. We're going to pop these pieces together first. So I'm going to pop this down here. This is the bottom one, which is the 2 inches by 4 1/8. And I'm going to line it up so that it lines up with the bottom of the card nice and neatly like this. If you can't do it without having that peg together, I don't think I've got any pegs on here. You can use a little peg or something down here to hold it in place. The one at the top, I like to use something just to hold it down, so I'm going to pop a couple of my blocks on there. Then I can put this on here upside down so I can see where I need to put the glue. So I'm just going to put a tiny little mark so that the glue doesn't go past my green layer. And then I'll glue this piece into place. By not going past the green layer, I actually give myself that little bit of wiggle room if it does happen to be not quite where it should be. That needs to stand straight, stay straight. And we're going to pop that into the middle there. Oh my goodness, get that straight there. There we go. And when you're happy with that, if you're happy with where it is, then you can press it down. We can move them out of the way. We can turn that over like so. Make sure our little marks are not showing. If they are, just use your eraser to remove them. And that's the front of the card done. How's about that? So let's open this up and we will pop in our insert. This will give the card that stability that it needs, because we have more on the front than we do on the inside. And I didn't stamp my hearts on the inside of this one, so let's do that now. So, I didn't even put that on very straight, did I? Look, I'm doing a very bad imitation of me today. Now don't worry that's hadn't stuck real tight, so that's really good. I can pop that on there again, and it's not going to show any of those marks underneath that, which is good. Okay, right, let's start. Hearts. Hearts. There we go. We've got our hearts on the inside now as well. Right, let's pop that out of the way. Make sure this is down nice and tight. I'm going to turn that over and give it another good press. That's it. Then we can pop this onto the inside of the card. Making sure we get it in nice and straight. Not like my eyes are going wonky this last week or so, haven't they? Wonky eyes. Okay, so we're going to turn that over and just give that a nice push down as well. Okay, so we've got our main card done now, and it's just a matter of doing the decorating. So let's have a look through here. I'm going to pop my straws in through this little gap. I'm going to put the bad cut one first, and then the other one can go in there with it, and it can go over the top of it. so you don't actually see my bad cutting, as you can see there. Alright, so we're going to turn that over. Just going to lift them up a tiny bit, put some glue under one, under the other, just check that they're nicely together. There we go. So that's my straws in there. That can go back on there. Oh no, it doesn't have to go back on there. What am I talking about? I'm going to pop this down flat on here, and as you can see, that was the one on the back that didn't go together real well. And then I'm going to pop him on the front here. But I've got him on the left hand side a bit, mainly because I just wanted to put a little bit of, I don't know what you want to call that, when you give it a bit of interest. When it's stuck together, you'll find that it will, if you put it in central, everything's too symmetrical for me. I like a little bit of interest. So I've put my dimensionals onto the back, my little one on the back of the straws and two big ones there. And we'll pop our froth on the top of the, oh yeah, wow, a lovely lime milkshake. Let's put turn our hearts over here, and we'll pop little ones on the back of these. That one's up the right way, same as the other one. Oh, come on, turn over. There we go, turn over. Well, now it's stuck to my finger. Doing a real good job there, aren't I? I just want a little one each on these ones too. Oh, that one's not got one in it. And I will just cut one of these larger ones in half, I think, for each side of that heart. And again the next one. For each side of that heart. And I'll pop my ones on the back of this, my saying, my tag. So we will now finish this off with putting large heart here and here. The next size down one there and there. And then the small one, oh my goodness, can't get that off, there and there. My tag at the bottom here, and I'm going to pop that on an angle again, like so. I've got some gems. These are actually retired, but as I said once before, we're going to be using up a lot of things that are retired this year. So these I never even used. Look, oh, 3, that's all I've ever used. Now these look like they've got like a reddy tinge to them, so that does, you know, give a little bit of interest. So I've got 3 of those, or 5 of those on there. Now I did have, I don't know what I did with it now, my Wink of Stella. What have I done with my Wink of Stella? Maybe that's what fell on the floor. Let me have a quick look. Ouch, my ankles are crunchy. I left it on my other desk. Now, how stupid am I? And I just put a bit of Wink of Stella on these hearts, like so, and on the froth on the top of the... This one's getting a bit dry, I think. Along with these hearts here. Okay, so that was our card for today. It was a little bit longer than normal. I tried to keep them no longer than 25 minutes, but this one's gone over. And it is now 31 minutes. So that's our card for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I actually like it in the green, but then green is my favourite colour. Pink is my second favourite colour, I must say. A nice pink. I don't like that petal pink, but I think it's a really wishy-washy pink, but that's just me. So that's our card. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then you won't miss any of my other projects. This one was called a centre, I don't know what I'm going to call it. The centre gap card, I think I'm going to call it. A centre gap card. And if you'd like the written tutorial, head over to Die Stamp for stamping, crafting and tutorials. And I will see you again next week. Bye for now.